Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, it's unsolicited advice. Take it or leave it. We all love going on vacations, don't we? We love it. You know, I think I hear that more than anything now. Everybody, they want to tell you that, you ask them, like, what's some things you like to do? I like to go on trips. It's like, man, that's what everybody wants to do. The trick about going on vacations is you still got to come home. That's the thing. That's the trick that it gets you. Like, don't get me wrong. I love to go on vacations. I ain't too fond of to cruises because I've been on plenty of them. So it's like I'd rather, go see different parts of the United States or go overseas or something like that. But everybody treats it like, oh, that's just my thing. I go on trips. It costs a good penny to constantly spend money on trips. But if you plan a vacation right, you can get a lot out of it. Now it just depends. If you're going, it's very rare. You got a couple of people that'll go solo dolo. Like me, I'll go on a vacation by myself and still have a good time. For most of y'all, some people go as a couple or couples. Or some people, they get with their friends and everybody pays a certain amount and it just pays for everything. But planning a vacation can be very time consuming. And of course, one of the main things is if you got other people involved, it's keeping them involved. Because, you got some people that are stragglers. They either ain't paid yet or they're not responding to your texts or, you're trying to get stuff together and it's just taking them forever or it's always something coming up or, oh, can we reschedule? But planning a vacation is a very, very tricky thing. But, of course, you want to set a budget. You want to determine like how much, you can spend for the entire trip. The flights, accommodations, food, shopping, transportation. I think those are the main things. One thing I learned, though, is by the time you get to your destination and you get around stuff, you either realize that you didn't bring enough money or you realize that there's no point of wasting money. It's either one or the other. Because it all depends on your destination. So, like, if you go to Vegas, you need money. There's so much stuff to do in Vegas. You need that money. It's not just shopping. You probably want to go catch a show. There's so many different places to eat. There's so many gift shops. Of course, you're going to want to go shopping and doing all. You want to go up and down the strip. It's going to cost money to travel. Everything looks like it's close and it's not. Trust me, you see all those big lights everywhere. Everything looks like it's just one little small strip. It is not. It is not. It takes a minute to get from one part of Vegas to the next. So that's going to run you. But you want to make sure that you set your budget. You want to break everything down. How much is my flight going to cost? You write that down. How much are the accommodations, like, your hotels or Airbnb or whatever you do? How much is that going to cost? How much money do I need to bring just for food? How much money do I need to bring for the activities, like things that you want to pay for while you're there? How much do I want to spend on shopping? Shopping is usually the one that gets you in trouble because you shouldn't be spending a whole lot, but you end up spending a whole lot because you see so much stuff that you don't see from where you're from. And then of course you always have to make sure that you account for transportation. Unless you're driving there in your own car. For y'all that go to Florida, of course, you can just drive your own car to Florida. But if you're going to go across country or go to California somewhere, Louisiana, or wherever, some people drive to Louisiana, but depending on what part of the country you're in, you're going to have to fly. So you're probably going to need transportation once you touch down. So that's one of the main things you gotta nail down. Of course, another hard thing is choosing your destination. Destinations, you want to consider your interests. You want the desired climate. We got to stop going to Florida. Florida is nice, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end all be all. You gotta expand your mind. I don't care if you go to Delaware or Wyoming. There's other places you can go. But think about the length of travel time, when you're selecting a place to visit. But really expand your mind. Like, go and look up some of these places in the States, or go look up Canada if you want to go to Canada. Of course, Alaska, Hawaii, Europe, Asia. You want to go on a different continent. Don't go to Australia. Australia is fucking dangerous. Don't go to Australia. But if you choose to go somewhere different, really look it up. Go look up what they have to offer. Go ahead so you can say, okay, I want to go do this, this, and this. I need to find me a hotel in this area because this is what I want to do. But make sure that you're actually sitting down and choosing a destination. Don't be lazy. Don't just go on a cruise and they just take you somewhere. Like, really take the time and say, you know what? I wonder what they be doing in, in Nebraska or, Maine. Like, I want to go to Seattle. I'd love to go to Seattle. I don't know what it is about it, but I want to go and check it out. But yeah. Another thing you have to do is decide on dates. Some of y'all, y'all are suckers for going, y'all want to travel during the holidays or you want to travel in the summertime. The sweet spot usually is around about, during the school year, like September, October. You get those good rates. Summertime is always going to be a little expensive, a little bit more expensive depending on where you're going. You're going to spend, of course, if you try to do it during Christmas or Thanksgiving, certain holidays, main holidays, it's going to be hard to find hotels and things like that. So, or you're going to spend a pretty penny just to get one. And hotels, getting back to that. But hotels can be tricky. Some people want to go to these very, fantasy. The whole idea is you don't want to spend too much time in the hotel. Like, I just need somewhere clean to sleep and a nice hot shower, and I'm out. I'm trying to, I'm trying to enjoy every little bit of this trip. So I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time at the hotel unless my whole idea was just to be at a hotel. If I'm going to be outside sightseeing, so be careful about spending so much money at a hotel that you're not even really going to be in the whole time. Think about that. So another thing that you have to start doing nowadays, because we live in a different day and time, you got to research the flights, research the airports, research the accommodations that they have, because you got to make sure that you ain't got too much carry on. Everything's got to weigh a certain amount. Stop wearing all these clothes because they pretty much gonna make you strip down. Stop taking a bunch of shit too. That's another thing too. Stop taking a bunch of stuff. We take way too much when we're packing bags and stuff. We got to stop taking so much shit because it's just a headache. It's just a headache. And then when you get to wherever you're gonna get, you're just gonna buy more shit. So why not? Why not just wait? But research the flights. Make sure you get a good flight. Get you a good flight. Make sure the airlines and the booking platforms, they give you the best deals. And nowadays, you can go on the webs. You can go on the internet and find, decent booking, but make sure it's legit ones because some of them will screw you over. Another thing you need to do is pre-plan the activities. Like, go and look wherever it is. If you want to, if they got museums, if they got special attractions, if you want to go watch a play, outdoor activities, restaurants, make sure that you're pre-planning and you're sending it to everybody else. Say, hey, this is what we're going to go do. So make sure you got money for this, this, and that. Like I said, the only reason why I'm doing this video is because some people, they need help navigating this. Some people are masters at this. They go all the time. So, it's nothing to them to do it. They do it all the time. And, unless you got a person, what do you call a travel advisor or whatever, which sometimes they get you too. But, you want to, like I said, you want to check your, make sure you check your travel documents too. Especially if you're a passport pimp, as I like to call it. You know, if you constantly going overseas or you going places where you got to have a passport, make sure everything's up to date. Because the last thing you want to do is be all, you know, happy and excited. You get to the airport, you get wherever you're going, and your stuff ain't up to date, or you don't got your license, or you don't have your birth certificate or anything that they need, you know, or your travel insurance. Make sure you got everything. You know, make sure you're thinking. Make sure your mental is there with you. You know, you don't want to be boo-boo the fool walking around the airport wanting to know what you're going to do with your life because you can't go on your trip because you don't have all the necessary documents that you need. Nowadays, you can keep everything on your phone too, so that's another good thing. And I want to spend the excuse me. I want to spend the block on what I was talking about a few minutes ago. Pack smart. And I know I'm saying that because I'm a guy. You know, guys, we you know, we're not going to put a whole bunch of stuff in our suitcase. At the most, it might be like shoes, things like that. But you want to pack smart. You know, make a list and avoid overpacking. A lot of y'all go to all these sunny, nice tropical spots. You don't need a whole lot of clothes. You're going to be half naked half the time. And if I'm going with somebody, you're going to be half naked, if not naked, majority of the time. So there's no need for all this extra stuff. Pack light. Make sure you get some light linens, very light clothes, stuff that you can kind of pack and you can condense easily. They also have those vacuum sealing pack things you can put your clothes in. You know, you turn the vacuum on and it'll suck all the air out and it'll make more room. You can get one of those. It's a lot of different things. But remember the weight of it. Make sure you weigh it before you leave the house because, you know, TSA and all them, they're going to be checking that stuff. Couple more things, of course, travel time. Make sure you're checking the travel time. Make sure you know the local customs. You don't want to go to Mexico. You know, what is it, Cozumel, Cancun, Tijuana, wherever. You don't want to go overseas anywhere and not know the local customs. That's a quick way to get robbed. That's a quick way to get lost. That's a quick way to get put in jail on some dumb shit, you know. And last but not least, make sure wherever you go is very accessible. Make sure that you are staying at a hotel where everything is accessible. You're not having to drive here, there, and everywhere. And if you know, you know. If you traveled, you know that is very important. You don't want to go somewhere and nothing is where you need it to be. And you got to travel here and there and everywhere. You want everything to at least be within walking distance. You know, just in case you get too drunk, you know, and you got to walk back or whatever. But just be safe out there. That's another thing too when traveling and going on vacation. Be safe. Make sure you go in big groups. Keep up with each other. I know you might, you know, you going on a girls trip. Y'all gonna see some cute guys. Be careful. You know, be careful. You know, you don't want to end up in one of Diddy's old mansions. You know, butt ass naked and slippery. But no, just be safe. Everybody loves vacations, but just make sure you got all your stuff together. But as always, I say that's just my unsolicited advice. Take it or leave it.